Before we get this video underway, this video is sponsored by Adam and Eve. Adam and Eve is an adult store giant that has been around for over 4 decades, that will undoubtedly make things much more enjoyable for you if that's something you would like to indulge in. Adam and Eve is hooking you up with the discount code HONEST, which will provide 50% off one item, plus free shipping in the USA and Canada. Some exclusions may apply. They have a 90-day no-hassle return, 24/7 customer service, and 20% of the profit goes towards fighting HIV all around the globe. So you will definitely be supporting a great cause and helping people while also helping yourself. How amazing is that? Use code HONEST, link will be in the description. No girl group quite defined 80s dance pop like Bananarama. They are a complete time capsule of 80s culture. The eccentric name, wacky fashion, and synth pop and new wave classics. After the 80s, it felt like they ceased to exist. They lit up the charts in both the UK and USA, but never quite kept their momentum going as the new decades approached. Bananarama was formed at the exact start of the 1980s, by lifelong friends Sarah Dowland and Karen Woodward. Sarah and Karen met in school when they were just 4 years old and became friends around the age of 7. They learned a lot about music in the school choir. As they grew in age, they would commonly meet up and rehearse songs they heard on the radio. In their early college years, they met who would become the third member, Saban Fahy. The group would do background vocals for acts like Iggy Pop and The Jam. After creating demos, they caught the attention of a label, and as they say, the rest is history. After the new wave band Fun Boy 3 heard Ai Moana, an underground hit of Bananarama's, they reached out for a collaboration, which resulted in a cover of It Ain't What You Do, a 1939 jazz song that was completely reworked into a new wave track for the group, which was the group's first big hit, reaching a summit of number 4 in the UK. After their initial success, the label still didn't have much faith in them. They were only offered a singles deal, not a contract to release a full album. The success of their subsequent singles would eventually greenlight an album contract, but they had terrible financial issues and weren't making much money. Soon after getting in contact with a great legal team, they would work out their financial problems and smartly increase their publishing worth after garnering big hits. Although it was their first taste of success, the best was truly yet to come. Their biggest success would come when they linked up with Jolly and Swain, a production and writing duo composed of Stephen Nicholas Jolly and Tony Swain, who were very big pop producers of the 80s in the UK. They would effectively transform Bananarama's whimsical personality into melodious pop classics, which led to their first album, Deep Sea Skiving, which would become a magnet for hits, such as Really Saying Something, Shy Boy, and Na Na, Hey, Kiss Him Goodbye, which all surged to the top 5 of the UK charts. They had still failed to break out in the USA, often being seen more as a novelty act instead of serious pop stars, due to their playful persona. In Europe, their style wasn't viewed as drastically different. Although they were seen as odd, they would still come to be embraced by America eventually. Early on, Bananarama found their lane after the underperformance of their 4th single, Cheers Then, which was a slower song. They would never again risk the chance of releasing a ballad or slow song as a single, due to the single missing the top 40 altogether. After they had numerous top 5 hits back-to-back, it was a blow to their ego. They would stick to what they do best when it comes to singles, dance-oriented pop. By that time, their second album came around in 1983. They began to make a splash in America, effectively becoming one of the forces at the second British invasion with the song Cruel Summer, which would reach its summit of popularity after being featured in the Karate Kid movie, eventually becoming the group's first top 10 hit in the States. The Rama Girls would also feature on the divisive 1984 charity single, Do They Know It's Christmas? Shortly after, a high-energy dance song would rock the world. That song was You Spin Me Right Round by Dead or Alive. Bananarama instantly clinged to the song, tracking down the producers of the record, who are known as Saul, Mike Stock, Matt Aiken, and Pete Waterman. Their first collaboration would be the reworking of Shocking Blue's 1969 hit Venus. The production trio and Bananarama's label were initially reluctant to cover the song, but the girls still went ahead to do it, and the risk paid off. It rocketed to #1 in the USA, the group's first and only single to do so. The music video became an MTV staple, and the song has been continuously used in ads and movies throughout the years. The album that houses the song, 1986's True Confessions, remains the group's best performing record. Prior to their Venus success, Karen Woodward found out that she was pregnant, which slowed some things down for the group. Instead of touring America at the height of their career, they resorted to doing video dance parties. Still, their career persisted, and they returned in 1987 with one of their biggest hits titled I Heard a Rumor. Eventually, Saban Fahi began dating Dave Stewart of the Eurythmics, initially unbeknownst to the other girls. After the girls found out, a gradual drift began to happen. Saban was pregnant, planning to get married, and rarely spent time with them. The tension made recording their fourth album Wow a bit uncomfortable. Sarah and Karen had to finish the album on their own. They filmed one last video together called I Can't Help It. Saban didn't show her pregnant belly on camera. And after the video, she left the group. It was a rather bitter breakup. The girls were at the height of their careers, and suddenly one of their core members had left. They had ended their friendship as well as business partnership. Jackie O'Sullivan would step in as Saban's replacement, and the song I Want You Back serves as her introduction to the group, becoming a big European hit. With their greatest hits compilation released in 1988, they entered the Guinness Book of World Records for becoming the most charted UK female group of all time, a rather stellar way to end off the 80s decade. But they would experience a decline as the 90s rolled around. O'Sullivan left the band in 1992, and they would continue to release albums as a duo. By the mid and late 90s, many more edge-cutting girl groups began to emerge, though, such as En Vogue, TLC, and the Spice Girls. The Spice Girls in particular picked up the torch where Bananarama left off. From the bubblegum and often mindless pop, to the fiery and amusing attitudes, they had more in common than just their home country, and it's quite easy to see where they influenced the Spice Girls. Since their quiet time away from the limelight, the girls have reunited, embarking on a sold-out tour with the original lineup in 2017, and with the duo of best friends releasing a brand new album in 2019, and Autobiography in 2020.